If you're tired of surface-level history and want the truth behind the front lines, well, subscribe now. Today, we're breaking open a forgotten piece of the past that quietly kept men alive when the ocean, fuel and physics were stacked against them. Some wartime technology didn't roar or explode or win headlines. It worked in silence. And sometimes silence was the only thing standing between survival and catastrophe. During World War II, the sea was just as lethal as any enemy fleet. Ships went down fast, aircraft ditched without warning, and survivors found themselves crammed into lifeboats soaked in fuel, oil, and freezing water. In those conditions, lighting an open flame wasn't courage, it was suicide. One spark could turn a lifeboat into a floating funeral. In survival situations, morale is not abstract, it's physiological. Warmth restores function. The Dunlop stove was, intentionally foolproof, designed so that anyone could use it even in the most stressful situations. Survivors suffering from hypothermia just don't follow complex instructions well, and their coordination is often severely impaired. The stove required minimal steps. Insert the fuel source. Trigger the catalyst. Close the lid. No matches, no complicated mechanisms, just a straightforward process. Let chemistry do the rest, as the internal reaction generated heat safely and reliably. The metal housing protected the catalytic core from impact and water exposure, ensuring the stove worked even in rough seas or after being tossed around. Controlled vents allowed oxygen in without letting flames out, making the stove both efficient and safe for use in cramped lifeboats. The unit could be placed in open air, inside a ration box as a radiant heater, or under a small pot to warm liquid, adapting to whatever the situation demanded. It produced no smoke and no visible light, which also mattered tactically since it kept survivors hidden from enemy ships or aircraft at night. Alcohol wasn't unlimited. Every drop was precious, and its use was carefully monitored by the crew. It was also needed for sterilization and wound cleaning, making it a vital resource for survival. Training emphasized restraint and careful planning. The stove wasn't meant to run constantly. It was used strategically, only when absolutely necessary. Turn it on when fingers stop responding, when the cold becomes dangerous. Turn it on when morale collapses, to bring hope and warmth back to the group. Turn it on when rations become inedible, making food just a bit more bearable. Every decision extended survival time. That discipline saved lives, turning limited resources into hope. The principles behind the Dunlop Number 10 never disappeared, even as technology advanced. Catalytic heaters are still used in military gear, backpacking equipment, and emergency ration warmers today, proving their lasting value. The chemistry is the same, relying on simple but effective science. Controlled oxidation on a catalyst using alcohol-based fuel remains a timeless solution for warmth and survival. Modern survivalists can, apply this logic safely using commercially available catalytic burner elements, regulated alcohol vapor sources, and metal housings with controlled ventilation. The concept allows heat generation inside shelters without advertising location or risking ignition. It's the same reason catalytic hand warmers still work today. The Dunlop Number 10 wasn't flashy. It didn't win battles or make headlines, but it embodied intelligent design under pressure, quietly saving lives when it mattered most. It belonged to the same survival ecosystem as emergency radios, freshwater stills, and vacuum-sealed rations. Tools, that turned the tide for stranded sailors. It reminds us that World War II engineering wasn't just about destruction or weaponry. It was about giving ordinary people a fighting chance against environments that didn't care who won the war, but only about survival. If this deep dive into forgotten wartime survival tech sharpened your understanding of how real engineering saves lives and how small innovations can have a huge impact, subscribe to Warfare Frontlines and share this with someone who values the details history usually skips, because these stories deserve to be remembered.